Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, sir.
Uh, you for
Good afternoon, sir.
hopefully you all are spending your vacation with your family. So we will not take a lot of time today. We will try to finish our lecture by 1 hour 10 minutes for today's class. So thank you for joining. Our course title is Pet, Zoo, Wild Laboratory and Aquatic Animal Management. Hopefully you have covered the uh, theory portion, that is ASVM 451. Yeah, so we will cover the practical portion only. So let's start. We have some experiments in our syllabus, although those are not kind of laboratory experiments. All these are kind of demonstration and verbal exchange may help also. So the first experiment we are going to talk about is psychology and behavior of some of the common wildlife, zoo animals, laboratory animals, and aquatic animals. Okay. So we have started with our national animal, as you know, Royal Bengal tiger. So these are descriptive, in fact, and I would like to tell you that in your exams, I will set questions like fill in the gaps or multiple choice, not descriptive questions, but you have to read all through a way because question can come from any portion. So I would like to request you to have a look on this slide. I'll be back in 1 minute. I have some work. Sorry for the interruptions. Okay. So we have divided the things to discuss in different points, like their nature, and their territoriality, if any, then their hunting behavior, their resting behavior, their mating behavior, feeding behavior, etc. So actually a lot of text here. I would like to skip a lot. Only some key points I will discuss. So as you know about the territoriality, that every wild animals like to keep their territory, uh, that is a particular area of land that is controlled by a particular group of animals. That is what is called a territory. Now, territory can be individual territory as well, like a dominant male of any pride will control a particular area of land, and all the females and all the prey inside that particular range would be under the control of that particular dominant male. This is what is called the territory is. As for hunting behavior, you know that tigers are predator and they can predate or hunt down large preys as well, like the deers and as well as buffalo as well, and wild boars, etc. So this is their hunting behavior. They communicate, like, although they are ferocious, but they are social animal as well. They communicate and they live within a certain group. The group of tiger or a group of lion is known as pride. So they stay in a particular pride and they like communicate within that pride, or they also communicate with other pride members with their vocalizations or maybe roaring, etc. As for the reproductive and mating behavior, um, they although they mate throughout the year, but the peak mating activity is during the cooler months. The males and females come together temporarily for mating only, with males traveling long distance to seek out receptive females. The males can travel a long distance to find out the receptive females. But as you know, the territory problem always occurs. So the if one male wants to go to another territory, he must have to fight with the male of that territory. And if he wins, then only then he can grab that territory and the females of that territory. So this is always a fight goes on. And for parental care, like after the gestation period, the calves are born, and those calves are taken care by the females particularly. And mm the calf size or the prolification, what we say, is around 1 to 6 calves. Although most of these dies, usually one or two survives at the end, and these calves are being taken care by the female until they grow up and become able to hunt by themselves. At around 2 or 3 years, they separate from their mother. The animals, the tiger have like evolved through some adaptation, like the stripes in their body, the soundness of their hunting, etc., the camouflage, etc. And of course, they are under threat of uh, like lost from the nature because of lack of conservation, and they also suffer from diseases, like viral disease may kill them as well in the wild and of course in zoo. environments. So this is all we have to take care of. Likely we have another zoo and wild animal, which is Asian elephants. The descriptions are given here. I would like you to read it by yourself when I provide the PDF. One thing is that you cannot skip anything because question will come from every segment, as I hope. So you have to read through and find out the key points or important note that may come in the form of multiple choice or fill in the gaps. The third topic is about spotted deer, or what we call chitra horin in Bangla. So you have to also see these slides. Next one would be the Asian crocodiles. The same psychology and behaviors are discussed here. The later one is lion. So the lion is not native to Bangladesh, as you know. So this is only a zoo animal. This is not a wildlife for Bangladesh. This is only a zoo animal for Bangladesh, and they are maybe brought from Africa uh, for exhibition purpose in our zoos only. So we have discussed about their pride as well. Lastly, although we can discuss a lot of species within this category because we have a wide range of scope here, wildlife, zoo, aquatic, laboratory animals, etc. But we will be limited to these species only, the above mentioned species, and lastly this one, the mice. Mice is because of its importance in laboratory experimental purposes. Uh, so please have a look in the slides as well. So the major reason that is why mice is a very common animal for laboratory purpose is that the genetic makeup of mice is really close to the genetic makeup of human being. That is why the new drug trials, then the GMO, genetically modified uh, trials, or like the transgenic animals preparation or stem cell culture, etc. Many of the experiments are being done with the laboratory animals, particularly with the mice. That is why it carries so much importance worldwide. So these are all the species we need to know about their psychology and behavior for our experiments. Uh, as you have time, you need to read out all the slides and within this vacation. And if there is anything you do not understand from this, you need to tell me either directly or via your class representative. Then I can answer your questions later on. I am skipping because a lot of text was here and it will take time to go on. So our next experiment name is restraining tools for different animals of our concern, which are mostly in these four heading: the wildlife or wild animals, the zoo animals, the laboratory animals, and aquatic animals. So in this experiment, we will just uh, demonstrate some pictures of tools which are used for restraining these kind of animals. And in your exam, if I uh, put these pictures as for identification, then you have to write up the name of this instrument um, by looking at this picture. Okay, so as we don't have the actual equipment in our university or in our lab, so we may provide picture and you have to identify and write down the name in your answer script. So this is a equipment which is known as catch pole or snare pole. You must have saw it in uh, maybe some videos in when they treat animals like small animals, particularly this one, the animal grasper or tongue. This is really common equipment to handle snake. So I hope you must have saw this equipment in maybe in YouTube videos or in TV channels. So the catch pole or snare pole, this is a long pole with a cable or noose at the end. This is এটাকে বলা হচ্ছে noose অথবা cable at the end, and it holds the animal by animal's neck or limb. এখানে দেখো যে এটা পোলটা ইউজ করে একটা অ্যানিমেলকে রেস্ট্রেন করা হয়েছে. The reason is that if we use this long handled equipment, the animal will be far from our body and restrained, so it will not be able to harm the handler. The next equipment can be net. Nets are used to capture and restrain animals, particularly those that are agile and may be difficult to handle with other tools, like the leopard, the চিতাস. এই ধরনের অ্যানিমেল গুলো যখন লোকালিটিতে চলে আসে কোনো কারণে অথবা জু থেকে স্কেপ করে, তখন কিন্তু নেট ইউজ করে তাদেরকে রেস্ট্রেন করা হয়. Animal grasper or tongs, this one. So this is quite similar to the catch pole, but the use is quite different. That these are used for safety grab and hold on to an animal's body or limbs, like the catch pole. They are particularly useful for handling small to medium sized animals and for performing procedures such as medical examinations or treatment, or for catching the snakes or poisonous animals from a distance. We have some other equipments we use to restrain wild and zoo animals, like the squeeze cage or squeeze chute. So this kind of chute is common in animal farms where we can like control the width of the chute. আমরা যে widthটা কন্ট্রোল করতে পারি, যার কারণে when the animal is inside the tube and then we compress the tube from the side থেকে টিউবটাকে মিনিমাইজ করে দেওয়া হয়. That makes minimum space within the tube and the animal cannot move freely, and it make the operation easier, like we would like to collect some sample from the animal, or we would like to treat the animal or inject the animal, or during dehorning, we can use this kind of tube. These are enclosed cages or tubes with adjustable sides. Side adjust করা যায়. There are tubes that can adjust the front as well. Frontও adjust করা যায় যাতে head movement কন্ট্রোল করা যায়. So depending on purpose, we can actually like modified the chewed. Mm, to restrain animals for medical procedures or transportation. Yeah, during transportation as well, chute use করা হয়ে থাকে. The size of the cage or chute can be gradually narrowed to immobilize the animal safely. Okay. The As for the chemical immobilization tools, mhm, you will come to see the darting gun and the syringes. Hopefully, some of you will go to Bangladesh National Zoo for your internship. Then you will come to see these equipments. So, chemical immobilization involves the use of tranquilizers, or sedatives administered via darts or syringe. So এটাকে বলা হয় ডার্ট, হ্যাঁ, এখানে যে সিরিঞ্জটা দেখতে পাচ্ছ, this is known as dart, and this is a darting gun. So the tranquilizer, অথবা the chemical what we use to immobilize the animal, we insert the chemical inside this dart, and we put the dart in the gun and then shoot at the animal to make it docile or immobilize it for certain time. So এই ক্ষেত্রে একটা বিষয় খেয়াল রাখতে হয় যে আমরা যে অ্যানিমেলটাকে সাবকনসাস করতে চাচ্ছি, সেই অ্যানিমেলের এই ডোজ নেওয়ার ক্ষমতা কতটুকু, হ্যাঁ, সেই অ্যানিমেলের বডি ওয়েট, স্পিসিস, তারপরে হচ্ছে স্ট্রেংথ, ফিজিওলজিক্যাল স্ট্যাটাস, এগুলো বিবেচনা করে এই ডার্টিং এর যে পরিমাণ, ট্রাঙ্কুইলাইজারের যে পরিমাণ সেটা নির্ধারণ করে তারপরে পুশ করা হয়। সো এই গান ব্যবহার করার কারণ হচ্ছে ফেরোসাস অ্যানিমেল, ইফ দে আর এসকেপড উই ক্যান নট গো ক্লোজ টু দেম, অর লাইক ইন ফার্ম কন্ডিশন অ্যাজ ওয়েল। ধরো যে ভাল্লুক আছে ইয়া জু কন্ডিশনে, সো সেটা ট্রিটমেন্টের প্রয়োজন, তখন তো একজন ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল সরাসরি ট্রিটমেন্ট করতে পারে না যে। সো ফার্স্টলি উই ইউজ দ্য darting procedure, and then when the animal is subconscious, then the uh, individuals go and take care of that animal. Other than these, the some of the physical restraint devices also can be used, as you can see in the last two pictures. One is called hobble, and the second one is harness. Depending on the species and situation, specialized physical restraint devices such as hobbles, harness, or body wraps may be used to immobilize specific body parts or prevent movement during procedures. Like in case of horse, we use the hobble so that it do not move its legs, or it do not kick the handler. As you can see, the horse can also kick sideways, so this help to prevent them from kicking. And the harness and the body wraps, these are particularly for dogs, uh, like to make them more docile when this portion of the area, or some particular portion of the area is covered or is protected, like they do not get enough strength to run away from the owner. So this is a restraining tool. For other restraining tool can be handling gloves and protective gears. As you know, the gloves, the maybe the gumboot, the goggles, etc., helmets, etc., can be a very good protective gear for protecting the handler from injuries. Traps can be a restraining tool as well. As you can see, this the picture is one is box trap, which uh, we particularly know we can use this for rats or mouse in our home. And another one is here is leg hole trap. So different kind of traps are available. For traps are used to capture wild animals for relocation or research purposes. So for research purpose, maybe to conduct the stress experiment, or maybe medicinal experiment as well. Uh, the traps are used to catch the animals in first place, and as well as the box trap particularly is used for transportation of animals, uh, for both large and small animals. This is a small trap box trap, but there are large boxes as well to trap larger animals. They come in various designs, including box trap, case trap, leg hold traps, etc. And other than these kind of tools, we can have customized tools for our specific purpose. It is dependent on species and situation we handle with. Uh, Equipment may be designed and used, maybe custom built tables, head holders for animal, or other devices that help to minimize the stress of animal and also to secure the handler. So if we classify, okay, although the title was restraining tool of wild, zoo, laboratory, and aquatic animals, we have divided. F- uh, until now, we were talking about restraining tools of wild and zoo animals. Hmm. Wild and zoo, wild and zoo, and wild and zoo animals. Yeah. From these slides, our concern is to talk about the tools used in restraining laboratory animals. So as we know, laboratory animals are mostly smaller animals, so we need smaller equipments to hold and handle them. The first one we have mentioned here is the rodent restrainers. This is the picture of rodent restrainers, and as you can see, there are some holes here. There are some holes here, and here is a cap-like structure inside. This cap-like structure, we can move it upward and downward. আমরা এটা উপর দিকে এবং নিচের দিকে মুভমেন্ট করতে পারি, so that the space under the cap can be extended and squeezed. ওকে, এই স্পেসটা কমানো বাড়ানো যায়। এটা আমরা যখন নিচে দিব তখন স্পেস কমে যাবে, উপরে দিলে স্পেস বেড়ে যাবে। সো ডিপেন্ডিং অন দ্য এনিমল সাইজ উই আর ট্রিটিং উইথ, অ্যান্ড ডিপেন্ডিং অন দ্য পারপাস উই উইল বি treating the animals for, we have to like mm, control the space here, and the holes, these holes these holes are especially manufactured in particular positions to facilitate the collection of blood, or injecting in the tail portion, etc. হুম। সো এই ধরনের একটা ইকুইপমেন্ট যেটাকে বলা হয় হচ্ছে রোডেন্ট রেস্ট্রেইনার। These are devices designed to hold rodents in a specific position, by controlling the lead control করে স্পেসিফিক একটা পজিশনে রোডেন্টকে হোল্ড করা হয়, often used for procedures such as injections, blood sampling, etc., as we mentioned, through these holes. They can be made of plastic, metal, or acrylic, and may have adjustable straps or slats to secure the animal in a place. This one. Okay. Decapicon. So you must have heard the term decapitation. That means the beheading or cutting of head, right? So decapicon is a cone-like structure of made out of uh, polythene mostly, or maybe of flexible plastics as well. These are used for handling and restraining small animals like mice and rats. It allows for safe and control handling during procedures. So like, as for example, we want to treat the vein in the ears, or we want to treat the eye of an mouse, or maybe the snout, nose tip of mouse. So holding the mouse in this kind of cone is really helpful, that the animal cannot move anymore, and we can easily hold the animal and treat in the ear veins, or in the eyes, or in the nose. And the reason it is called the decapicone is that initially this cone was invented to easier removal of the head of the mouse or the experimental animal. সো এই কোণের ভিতরে রেখে তারপরে মাথাটা সামনে দিয়ে বের হলে মাথাটা কেটে ফেলা হতো। হ্যাঁ, so this is also used now as well, but there are some other devices now to decapitate the rats, but it's still used. This cone is like a lot of use is there. Nextly, the nose cones and anesthesia mask, the third picture. These are used to administer gases for anesthesia. Suppose we are going through some procedures or experiment, then at that time we want the experimental animal to be immobilized throughout the experimental period. So but if we put a lot of immobilization chemicals at a time, the animal may not survive anymore. So what we do, we use this kind of mask and provide the anesthetic agents slowly but continuously, so that the animal stay alive and like stay unconscious as well, subconscious. So this is what is the nose cone and anesthesia mask is. The other tools, as you can see here, gloves and personal protective equipment, which we already talked in our zoo and wild animal uh, restraining tools section. These are all the same and for the same purpose, to keep the handler safe and keep the procedure like sterile. Yeah, প্রসিজারটা যাতে স্টেরাইল থাকে অথবা মাইক্রোঅর্গানিজম ফ্রি হয়। Decapitation or euthanasia device. So there are different devices. As you can see, we have plotted some picture here. One is uh, guillotine and cervical dislocation tool, etc. So this kind of equipments are used for really quick decapitation of the experimental animal, so that minimum pain is they go through minimum pain. Yeah. Animal restraint tables. These are specially designed tables with adjustable restraints that can hold animals in particular place during procedure. হ্যাঁ, একটা এক্সপেরিমেন্টের সময় অথবা কোনো অপারেশনের সময়, যেমন অপারেশন ওটি সরি অপারেশন টেবল ব্যবহার করা হয়। Likely, these kind of tables hold the animals in a particular place for the experiment or the treatment. They are often used for large animals like rabbits, guinea pigs, and non-human primates as well. Continuing tools for the laboratory animals like the cage restrainers. So we know the cages, these are the cage, but the cage restrainer is this portion, which is red in color. Here you can see. Uh, this is like a portion that can minimize or maximize the স্পেস ইন দ্য কেজ। কেজের ভেতরে যেমন এই অংশটা আমরা যদি পুশ করি আরো ভেতরের দিকে, অ্যাজ ইউ ক্যান সি ইট হ্যাজ ওয়ান বর্ডার ইনসাইড, এটা একটা বর্ডার রয়েছে। when we push it inside, the space in the cage minimizes, so the animal will be forced to come at one corner, likely you can see in this picture. When we press this inside, so the animal will be at once come to one side, and when it is like come close to the wall of the cage, then it is easy for the handler to take care of the animal like particular for particular purpose. Chemical restraint or sedation. Anesthesia or sedation may be administered to laboratory animals using injectable drugs, gas, anesthesia. So কি হতে পারে? Injectable drugs হতে পারে, gas হতে পারে, or oral medication as well. So এগুলো restraining tool অথবা restraining chemicals হিসেবে আমরা আইডেন্টিফাই করতে পারি। Tail vein injection device. This one is the tail vein injection device. This is a particularly designed device for rat and mice to inject in their tail. So as you can see, the device is holding the animal and the tail is outside the device. So the handler can easily pick up the tail and inject where the injection is needed. Immobilization chamber. This kind of chamber is widely used in laboratories. If you visit any veterinary science laboratory, you will see this kind of chambers. These are enclosed chambers that can temporarily immobilize animals for procedures such as blood collection, imaging, and behavioral experiments. The reason these kind of chambers are being used for immobilization, because these are really easy to handle. Just put the animals here and turn on the switch that will do the work to immobilize the animal for a particular time. The next slide is talking about the restraining tools of aquatic animals. So for aquatic animals, we know the nets are really common equipment to catch fish or other aquatic animals from the pond, because we cannot see from above the water what is inside. Net is really helpful on that case. But for other equipments like the grasper or tongs is also used in aquatic animals. As you can see, one eel is being caught using the tongue. So this kind of animals, which are really slippery in their body structure, can be held with using the tongs. Decapicone is a cone we have already discussed, but this is especially for the aquatic animals. A decapicone is a cone-shaped device used to restrain fish or other aquatic organisms. So the decapicone we have just talked before was for the small animals like mouse or rats, but this kind of bag, a bit larger in size, are also available for fish and other aquatic animals. And the decapicone for the fishes, they are of some different properties, like they are capable of holding the animal life for a long time, because there will be water inside and there will be facility to provide oxygen in the water as well, so they can survive for longer there. You might have observed, or if not, I can tell you that the expensive aquatic fishes, which are like colored fishes, আমরা যেসব কালার ফিশগুলো অ্যাকুরিয়ামে পালন করি তাদের যে ব্রিডিং স্টক রয়েছে, প্যারেন্টসগুলো, এগুলো যখন ট্রান্সপোর্টেশন করা হয়, দেন দে ইউজ দিস কাইন্ড অফ ডিক্যাপিকন চেম্বার্স, sedation or anesthesia. So, in case of fish or other aquatic animals as well, we use the anesthetics or sedatives to do some experiments or procedures, and this can be administered via immersion in an অ্যানেস্থেটিক সলিউশন অর ইনজেকশন। সো আমরা একটা সলিউশন তৈরি করে সেখানে মাছ অথবা অন্য অ্যাকোয়াটিক অ্যানিমেলকে কিছুক্ষণ ভিজিয়ে রাখলে সেটা ইমোবিলাইজ হয়ে যাবে, এবং অন্যান্য ক্ষেত্রে ডিপেন্ডিং অন দ্য নেচার অফ দ্য অ্যানেস্থেটিক উই ক্যান ইনজেক্ট it as well in the body of the fish. Another one is weight table. As you can see, this picture is the weight table. So used for the study of fish and other aquatic organism, running water and drainage system allow to clean and prepare the fish quickly and more clean with cleanliness. Okay. So we have only provided two pictures here, although we know the decapicone, the weight table. Yeah, here. Okay, no issue. Some other restraining tools for aquatic animals is like containment tanks or chambers. This one is containment tank. So এখানে ট্রান্সপোর্টেশনের সময় অথবা কোনো এক্সপেরিমেন্টের সময় we can use this kind of tank. Water filled tray or bucket can be a tool for our experiments. Lift net or deep nets. So, lift nets or deep nets, we are familiar with this one. This is used to hold up large aquatic animals out of the water. যারা বড়শি দিয়ে মাছ শিকার করে তাদের কাছে অনেক সময় এই ইকুইপমেন্টটা থাকা যায়। Personal protective equipments like goggles, gloves, waders, or other protective gear to protect themselves from injury. This is a picture of wader. So I think this is all. Yeah. So we have just covered our second experiment. The third one is identification and demonstration of different species of zoo and wild animals. Similarly, এই এক্সপেরিমেন্টের জন্য ছবি দেওয়া থাকলে you have to identify and you may have to write down their identifying characteristics or use etc. Depending on question, এ ধরনের কিছু আসতে পারে। So আমাদের for Bangladesh, the zoo animals are Royal Bengal tiger, of course, spotted deer, rhesus macaque or monkeys. So out of these three, I think mostly if you visit Bangladesh Zoo, people like all these three very much, and you will see a lot of people gathering uh, next to the cage of or the habitat of these animals. Mm, okay. Another animal that is really popular in zoos is the elephant. Especially we have Asian elephants mostly, and uh, other than Asian elephants, there is another kind of elephant which is known as African elephant. So we need to know the difference in between these two uh, elephants. And one another kind of animal is hippopotamus. আমরা এটাকেও হাতি বলে থাকি, জলহস্তী বলি বাংলায়, although they are not elephants. So they are also a good attraction site for visitors. So whatsoever, as for the difference of African elephants and Asian elephants, and we have mentioned some points here. As you can see, the ears are large in African elephants, whereas it is smaller, relatively smaller in Asian elephants, and the shape is also different. Trunk, tip. So as you know, আমরা যেটা বাংলায় সুর বলি এটাকে বলা হয়েছে trunk, TRUNK, trunk. So there is difference in the tip of the trunk structure of the tip of the trunk of these two animals. As you can see in the right picture of African and Asian animals, the tip of the trunk, as you can see, as for the African elephant, the tip is composed of two finger-like structure, and for the Asian it is only one finger-like structure, and the bottom is quite a bit rounded, or it is altogether you can say a triangular shape. So two finger for grasping, and Asian have one finger for grasping. And there is difference in the head structure as well. There is single dome in African and twin dome in Asian elephant. As you can see, এটাকে twin dome বলা হচ্ছে. Here is one dome and here is another dome over the head in Asian elephant, but for African it is only one dome. And the height and weight is also different. The um, African one is quite larger than the Asian elephants. And the hippopotamus, you must know the hippopotamus picture and so on. The hippopotamus is also native to Africa, not native to our country. That is why this is not our wildlife, but this is a zoo animal of Bangladesh. And for other zoo animals like the ইন্ডিয়ান পিফাউল, যেটাকে আমরা পিফাউল বলে থাকি usually, can have a different color. The waterfalls like the duck, geese, swan, etc. also can be found. So the swans are not a natural habitat in our country, but they can be found in some zoos only. And we have crocodiles and ghorial. Some zoos in Bangladesh house crocodiles, allowing visitors to observe these fascinating reptiles from a safe distance. ক্রোকোডাইলের খাঁচা বা চেম্বারের সামনে গেলে আসলে ভিজিটরদের মন ভরে না, বিকজ from a long distance we have to see them, and they move barely, সহজে মুভ করে না, কাজেই not a good sight to see, but still people like to go and see the crocodiles and ghorials there. Okay, we have some pictures to differentiate the uh, ghorial, the crocodile and the alligator. So you will hear a lot of time people calling one crocodile as alligator and another crocodile as crocodile. So there are some difference actually, and they are not all the same, although belonging from the same species, but they are different kind of animals. And the gavial or gharial is uh, mostly like native to uh, our continent. That is why you may not see a lot of detail in uh, channels like National Geographic or Discovery about ghorial. So the main difference, if you want to spot out, as you can see, the snout structure, snouted structure এর ডিফারেন্সটা দেখো। For ghorial, it is really long, elongated snout. For the crocodile, it is triangular. And for alligator, it is more blunt, right? It is more blunt. And here as well, we can differentiate between alligator and crocodile. Crocodile is triangular, alligator is more blunt or U-shaped snout. And for the teeth formation, both of the animal have teeth in their both jaws. But as for the crocodile, we can see from side view the both jaws teeth. Lower teeth and upper teeth both are visible. But for the alligator, only the upper teeth are visible. So this is how we can identify difference in between these two. And in terms of size, I would say the alligator are larger and heavier than the crocodile. Their color is also different. Most of the time, the alligator are blackish and crocodile seems to be greenish black in color. And we have some other zoo and wild animals as well. These are at the same time zoo animals and wild animals for Bangladesh, different kind of birds. Uh, we may have some picture of snake in our next slide, কাজেই কেউ আতঙ্কিত হবে না হুট করে। পরের স্লাইডে না হলেও দু একটা স্লাইড পরে সাপের ছবি আছে। ওকে, not here. Common zoo animals in Bangladesh. We have some reptiles. I guess in the next slide we will have the picture of snake. So snake, lizard, and turtles are on display in Bangladesh zoos, providing entertainment and educational opportunities for visitors. Yes, although people are afraid of snakes, but they still go and make crowd in front of the snake section of zoos. And small mammals like the rabbits, guinea pig, uh, hedgehogs, etc. are included in zoo collection. So sometimes we have confusion in identifying rabbit and guinea pig. You can identify from here. There are a lot of differences in their appearance. The This is the rabbit and this is the guinea pig. The major difference you will see there, the structure of their ear. This is the hedgehog. Oh no, not here. Okay. Now, as we have talked about the zoo animals, and now we are proceeding to wild animals of Bangladesh. We have different animals, black Bengal tiger in Sundarbans. So this is our wild animal or found in the wildlife. We already have shown its picture earlier. Then we have Asian elephants. Asian elephants are also available in some of our uh, safari parks, like one in uh, Dula Hazra in Cox's. If you have any chance to go there, you might have seen there are elephants roaming freely within the safari park. And we have the monkey, we have spotted deer, and another wild animal that is Indian wild boar. This is found in Sundarbans and in the hilly areas as well. And we have foxes as well as wild animals. I forgot to include that one here. So you can include the fox here. As for the bird section, we have varieties of bird in our wildlife section. Um, and we have crocodiles as well, yeah, which is the Asian crocodile in particular. Maybe snake, yeah. So we have snake like cobra, python, viper, etc. So sometimes it is quite difficult to differentiate in between the python and the vipers, especially there is one really common nowadays we hear is Russell viper. Yeah. So um, I saw a video that one particular one boy in some area of Bangladesh, he misunderstood the Russell viper as python, and he was playing with the Russell viper, and that viper bite him and he died. So they look quite similar, but this is one of the deadliest poisonous snake in the world, the Russell viper. So we need to be careful when we encounter any snake. Other wildlife of Bangladesh are the tortoise. So tortoise are kept as exotic পেটস ইন বাংলাদেশ অ্যাজ ওয়েল। হ্যাঁ, শুধু যে এটা ওয়াইল্ড লাইফ তা না, এটা এক্সোটিক পেট হিসেবে ইউজ করা হয়, যদিও রিয়েলি রেয়ার কেসেস লাইক I have heard of maybe 3 or 4 cases where the turtles are being kept as pet animals, appreciated for their longevity and unique appearance. So when we talk about the tortoise, we have another term sometimes we encounter with is the turtle. They are not the same. In fact, there are some differences in between these two individuals. As you can see, here is some differences mentioned that not all turtles are tortoise. That means turtle is a big group. eh? Turtle is a big group, and some of the turtles have become evolved and become tortoise. ঠিক আছে যে anciently অথবা historically they were turtle and some of them become evolved into tortoise, so that is why we call all turtles are not tortoise but all tortoise are turtles. একটু confusing. Okay. So the major difference in between these two, as you can see here, is a picture given here. আমরা যেটা শেলটা দেখতে পাচ্ছি, শেলের স্ট্রাকচার তোমরা দেখবা এটা হচ্ছে রিয়েলি লাইক ডোম শেপড বলা যেতে পারে। হ্যাঁ, dome shaped shell. For the turtle it is not that domed, it is quite a bit flattened. And for the foot, as you can see, the foot for the tortoise it has scaly foot and nail like so finger like a structure, but for the turtle it has uh, mm, boi. These are called as boi, boi. Yeah, this one boi, boi. So they have boi or আমরা যদি বাংলায় বলি পাখা অথবা বৈঠার মতো যে আহ, একটা বই থেকে বৈঠা আসছে মনে হয়। So whatsoever, uh, they have boi, they don't have any finger like structure as the tortoise do. And their habitat is also different. The tortoise mostly live in like the land area, and for the turtle is the water body, and their feeding is different, and like they eat both plants and animals, but for the tortoise they only live on plants. Our next experiment is identification and demonstration of common pet and laboratory animals. Okay. So তোমরা জানো যে বর্তমানে আমরা আহ, বাংলাদেশে পেট এনিমাল পালন করার প্রবণতা বেড়েছে, বিশেষ করে উইথ দ্য increased income and urbanization. People love to keep their companion animals like the dogs, cats, uh, sometimes rabbit as well. সো এখানে কিছু ব্রিডের নাম লেখা আছে যেগুলো রাখা হয়, সচরাচর দেখা যায় এগুলো। এই you can go through, and we rear some birds as well as our pets, and parrots are really common, and the finches and uh, budrigigar. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Some of you may know, but আহ আমরা ছোটবেলায় আহ, এটাকে বাজুরিকা বলে ডাকতাম আর কি। Bugarigar. Okay. Maybe Bugarigar is the actual pronunciation. So, other than these, we also rear pigeons are really popular one pet birds in Bangladesh. So, some of the pigeons are actually reared for racing purpose or exhibition purpose for their exceptional feather structure or beauty. And some of the pigeons are only reared for maybe for uh, leisure or time passing of the owner. And there are ducks and chickens as well in rural conditions. Sometimes they are considered to be pet animals for them, especially maybe out of one flock, one or two becomes really glossy in their structure, and people like to keep them for longer. And we have some aquarium fishes in Bangladesh we usually go for, like the guppies, goldfish, angelfish, clownfish, ট্যাঙ্কস এক্সেট্রা। সো এগুলো আমরা সচরাচর অ্যাকুরিয়াম ফিশ হিসেবে দেখে থাকি, যেগুলো মোস্টলি আর both are fresh and saline water fish, in fact, like the goldfish, guppy, angelfish. These are, I guess, the freshwater or shadu panir মাছ এগুলো। হুম। And for the clownfish and tanks, these are seawater fishes. And in rural areas, cows and goats are commonly kept for milk, meat, and agricultural purposes, but they may also be regarded as pets and treated with affection by their owners. সো একটা এনিমাল পেট এনিমেল হওয়ার জন্য one of the uh, major criteria I would say that it should create affection or build affection with the owner. So on that case আমরা সেই দিক থেকে বিবেচনা করলে the goat and cattle, they also make a really strong bond with the owner of their farms. So this is how they become pet animal for them as well. Next is we would like to talk about some of the common laboratory animals used in Bangladesh. So out of the laboratory animals, we have the mouse, we have rats, we have guinea pigs. So মাউস নিয়ে আমরা প্রথমে একটু বিস্তারিত আলোচনা দেওয়া আছে, you will read there, and these are some of the summary from there. uh, Mice are one of the most used laboratory animals worldwide due to their high percentage of matching with the genotypes of human genotypes, and their short uh, generation interval এবং prolific breeding. বাচ্চার সংখ্যা বেশি দেয়, জেনারেশন ইন্টারভালও কম, এবং জেনেটিক সিমিলারিটি রয়েছে হিউম্যানের সাথে বেশি। দ্যাট ইজ হোয়াই দে আর ইউজড ফর এক্সপেরিমেন্টস লাইক জেনেটিক্স, টক্সিকোলজি, ড্রাগ ডেভেলপমেন্ট এক্সেট্রা কাজে ব্যবহার করা হয়। We have rats as laboratory animal as well. So rat is a bit larger in size than the mouse, এবং they have some differences in their body structure as well. We have like mentioned some of the differences here, but the picture may not be that much clear for you. Mm, okay. As for the ear of the mouse and rat, compared to body size, the ear of the mouse is larger. Hmm. Looks really unproportionate uh, along with their body size. When you see them, you will identify their ears are erected and large. Their body size is small, ranging to 12 to 20 সেন্টিমিটার, 12 থেকে 20 সেন্টিমিটার হয়ে থাকে। লেন্থ ইনক্লুডিং টেইল, হ্যাঁ, মানে লেজ সহ 12 থেকে 20 সেন্টিমিটার হয়ে থাকে, এবং তাদের ওজন দেখা যায় 12 থেকে 30, 12 to 30 grams per individual. They produce 40 to 100 droppings per day, হ্যাঁ, মানে মলত্যাগ করে দিনে 40 থেকে 100 বার, which is 20 to 50 times in the rat. And as for the body size of the rat, it is larger, as we know, around twice size of the mouse, around 40 centimeter in length. এছাড়া uh, there is a major difference where we can easily identify which one is mouse and which one is rat, is their tail. For the tail of the mouse, it is covered with hairs. Here they are covered থাকে, and it is long and thin. For the rat, the tail is also long, but this is not covered with hair. Rather, it is hairless and scaly. এটা scaly হয়. So you will see scaly tail, you can identify it as a rat, and if the tail is uh, covered with hair, then it is a mouse. So this is all. Okay. And we have guinea pigs. We just saw the picture of guinea pig quite few slides ago. Guinea pigs are used in research, particularly in studies related to immunology, infectious disease, and dermatology. Their relatively large size and docile nature make them suitable for certain types of examinations. এছাড়াও আমাদের কিছু আরো ল্যাবরেটরি অ্যানিমালস আছে, যেমন র্যাবিট ইউজ করা হয়। দে আর হাইলি প্রলিফিক, এই কারণে র্যাবিটটা ইউজ করা হয়। জেব্রা ফিশ নামে একটা ফিশ রয়েছে, হুইচ রিমেইনস ট্রান্সপারেন্ট আনটিল ইট গেট ম্যাচিউর। ম্যাচিউর হওয়া পর্যন্ত ইট রিমেইনস ট্রান্সপারেন্ট। That is why many of the experiments which are conducted in zebrafish the effect can be observed from the outside of the fish. That is why they are a really good component of experiment. And the Drosophila or fruit flies is really common to our experiments. They are fruit flies widely used in genetics and developmental biology research. Genetics এর ক্ষেত্রে মূলত এটা বেশি ইউজ করা হয় due to their short generation interval, large number of offspring or higher prolificity, and well-characterized genome. The genome sequence here as well is really well characterized, and that matches with the genome sequencing of human. So that is why they are of one of the prime importance as lab animal. Okay, our last experiment. So hopefully we'll finish it by 15 minutes. Identification and demonstration of common aquatic animals. Aquatic here. So we'll talk about the fish and related animals found in river or water bodies. So out of the fishes, we have ruhi fish or rohu fish, the katla, the tilapia, etc. We have our national fish, hilsha, the prawns, the pangas fish, different kind of shrimps, like the tiger shrimp. This is really highly demanded uh, in international markets. So we have this tiger shrimp mostly in Sundarban areas. So they are mostly exported, not marketed domestically. This is a white leg shrimp. This is good one in taste, as you know. And the crabs, we have different kind of crabs, the mud crabs, the river crabs, etc. So nowadays, maybe for last few years, the crabs are also sold in different fish markets in Bangladesh, and people are uh, eventually buying and trying them as an alternative protein source. And we have some other aquatic animals like the eel. Uh, Eel can be found in both fresh and marine habitats in Bangladesh. Freshwater eels are relatively smaller, and the marine eels are relatively larger. So the eel also have a good international market and sold at high price. And we have the turtles and tortoise as well. The turtles are found in the Bay of Bengal, uh, and the tortoise are mostly found, I would say, near the Sundarban areas. People many times see the tortoise, and there are some pond uh, রাইজেন টার্টল অ্যাজ ওয়েল। পুকুরেও কিছু অনেক ক্ষেত্রে টার্টল দেখা যায়, smaller in size, and people also raise them in aquarium as well, the smaller turtles. And we have some other aquatic animals, in fact. We are not discussing in detail about them, but we will see the picture here because you may have identification in your examination. This is seal. Seal is common in, not that much common, but can be found in freshwater bodies of Bangladesh, sometimes visible in Bangali River. Formerly, they were seen a lot of in Buriganga River, but now not seen, maybe because of the pollution, they are not there. And the corals, mostly you will see them in the um, uh, coastal areas, স্পেশালি আমরা কক্সবাজারের বিচে ওভাবে দেখি না, কিন্তু ইনানি বিচে গেলে দেখা যায় কোরালস গুলো। উই ফাউন্ড দ্য ডেড কোরালস মোস্ট অফ দ্য টাইম, বাট when they are live they are really colorful. The clamp, this is the clamp. This has some meat portion inside it. Clamp is like uh, hmm, this is a food for uh, tribes, some tribes of বাংলাদেশ অনেক tribe এটা খেয়ে থাকে। Mostly people এটা খায় না, maybe because of uh, we have some other options to go with, যে কারণে আমরা এগুলো এক্সপ্লোর করি না, but this can be eaten. We have dolphins in our rivers. Our dolphin mostly looks like this, blackish in color, and they have elongated mouth. The jellyfish, you can see them if you visit Saint Martin's. sometimes you will find them beached on, maybe with the net of the farmers. There are some glowing jellyfish as well. This is a glowing one. Uh, they can be very large in size as well. The oyster, this is also a food item, can be eaten. It has a considerable amount of meat inside it, but we generally do not prefer it for eating. The flying fish, this is also available in Bangladesh marine area or sea water. Um, if you visit Saint Martin, you may have the chance to see this flying fish, not in flying condition, but in the beach, maybe as barbecue or fried, you will get them. The squid is another, I would say, good in taste creature, sea creature. They taste like shrimp or prawns, uh, quite a bit tougher, but this is a good source of protein. Uh, no bone inside, almost everything is edible. The snail is this one. We have the snail in our water bodies or wetlands. We see a lot of snails. A few years back, there was outbreak of African snail, if you remember. So they can propagate a lot, and we should be careful when we scavenge our large animals like cattle or small animal as well, like sheep or goat in the wetlands. They may engulf the eggs of snail, and that may cause disease in animals, so we need to be careful. The octopus is found in Bangladesh as well, in our sea area. Starfish is also observed. I saw once in Saint Martinia. And in our marine area, we have shark as well, which is a predator fish, and they can grow really big. So this is all. The last experiment was to demonstrate breeding, feeding, care, and management system of zoo, pet, laboratory, and aquatic animals through the field visit to respective organization. এটা আমরা আনলাকি, আমাদের এস্টাবলিশ করা পসিবল হয়নি, তবে মেবি আফটার 2 or 3 years we may have platform to talk with the authority. সচরাচর এই ট্রিপটা বাংলাদেশ জুতে করা হয়। সো এখনো আমাদের ডিপার্টমেন্ট এটা পায়নি সুযোগটা, আশা করি ভবিষ্যতে হয়তো পেতে পারে। So we cannot have this experiment. And lastly, I would like to thank you all for participating for long in the class. This is all for today's lecture, and this is all about this course as well. It has only 6 experiments, and we will only cover the first 5, not the last one. And we have discussed the 4 out of 5. The first one you have to read it by yourself, and if any problem you face, just tell me. I will try to communicate. Now, question regarding this presentation or your exam methodology, you can ask.
স্যার, এক্সাম আনুমানিক কত তারিখের দিকে হতে পারে?
তোমাদের ল্যাব এক্সামের রুটিন দেয়নি?
না স্যার।
থিওরি এক্সাম শেষ?
না স্যার, এখনো
জি জি স্যার, থিওরি এক্সাম শেষ।
আচ্ছা, ল্যাবের এক্সামের রুটিন দেখ, আমার ধারণা নেই, আমার সাথে আলোচনা হয়নি এই বিষয়ে। হ্যাঁ, তবে
স্যার
তোমাদের
আপনার কোর্সটা কি স্যার গুগল ফর্মে হওয়ার সম্ভাবনা আছে?
না, গুগল ফর্মে হওয়ার পসিবিলিটি নেই। এটা তোমাদের পেপার প্রোভাইড করা হবে, পেপারে লিখবা আনসার স্ক্রিপ্টে।
জি
আহ
থ্যাংক
তো এটা আমাদের যেহেতু মিড টার্ম হয়নি, মিড টার্ম এবং ফাইনাল একই দিনে হবে। হ্যাঁ।
জি স্যার।
উম, আর ভাইবার বিষয়টা আমি উম, আমাদের কলিগদের সাথে আলোচনা করি, দেখি যে কি ব্যবস্থা করা যায়। বাট তোমাদের এখান থেকে প্রশ্ন যেটা বললাম যে মেবি আইডেন্টিফিকেশন অ্যান্ড ফিল ইন দ্য গ্যাপস, ট্রু ফলস, মাল্টিপল চয়েস এ মিলে হয়তো 40 মার্কস কাভার করবে। অ্যাসাইনমেন্টে 10 আছে 50, অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সে 10 60, সো মেবি ভাইবা উইল হ্যাভ 40 মার্কস। ভাইভাতে 40 মার্কস থাকতে পারে। এই হচ্ছে তোমাদের মিড টার্ম এক্সাম এবং ফাইনাল এক্সাম একসাথেই হবে। আহ, যে 40 মার্কসের রিটেন পরীক্ষা দিবা ওখানেই হচ্ছে 20 থাকবে ফর মিড টার্মস। ঠিক আছে।
জি স্যার।
ওকে, দেন তোমরা রুটিন দেখি, আমি ম্যাডামদের সাথে কথা বলে তোমরা যোগাযোগ করো যে ছুটি শেষ হওয়ার আগে রুটিন তোমরা পেতে পারো কিনা সামহাউ। যদি করা থাকে তাহলে হয়তো দিতে পারবে, আর রেডি না থাকলে অবশ্যই ছুটির পরে। হ্যাঁ, ছুটি
জি স্যার। স্যার ছুটি 21 তারিখ পর্যন্ত।
22 তারিখ থেকে খোলা।
জি স্যার।
সময় আছে। আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে, দেখা যাক। থ্যাংক ইউ।
জি স্যার।
ভালো থেকো সবাই।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম স্যার।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম।